Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual. Today, I would like to speak about always being aware of and perceiving the hierarchy superimposed on, well, the outer physical reality. Layered on each other in a sense, you kind of can perceive them both. For of course, the hierarchy we need imagination and inner aliveness and a certain shaping and forming and guiding of thoughts to be able to reach the hierarchy. They are, after all, in the lower and higher Devakan, and that is of the moral world. So for us to connect to the higher worlds, we need to awaken the love, the compassion, and also the sense for, well, justice and judgment, and courage and carefulness at the same time as faith, love, and hope. The seven virtues through balance helps with staying balanced and staying stable and in a, well, balanced way. For when we become conscious inwardly and are able to, over time, more and more to sit within the silence, to not let our thoughts start to clatter over, to not let emotions become overwhelming, we kind of banish all of what we do not want to have within our conscious being down to the subconscious, in a sense. Of course, it requires practice to be able to, well, let things go. And for that to happen, we need to, well, address the situation within, inwardly. That is where we start. For the hierarchy, we find, yes, they are outwardly. You can perceive them as physical effects outwardly. But it is inwardly they truly are sensed, felt, through feeling, through emotions. For it is through emotions you enhance and truly, well, bring a new depth to the world. If we only use our head to perceive with, we will only see a certain part of reality. But by surveying whatever can be surveyed with our, well, present cognition faculties for cognitive abilities to understand, to perceive with, the more we, well, cultivate this over time. It is a steady growing process. Now, the more you awaken the hierarchy within, the more it will be, as I said, kind of superimposed on the outer physical. But it is only but halfway there. The hierarchy over time will inspire these imaginations over time, making them alive, making them truthful and real. Now we need to find what is real though, for it is all about being curious and interested in it, of course. And who wouldn't be interested in the hierarchy, finding out that they are very much a reality and they are very much a truth. And to be able to find them by knowing that by me striving, struggling, growing, developing, I will one day reach and come into, in full consciousness, the higher worlds and the hierarchy. Of course, this takes time, development, and, well, it is the journey that is enjoyable. So it is not any goal, for once you have reached a certain goal, there will always be another one. There is always a new mountain to climb. There is always a new peak to be had. And that is until our last breath. By no means should we ever become complacent or idle or stagnant, for that is when our inner being become, well, still and stale. Stale is the word. For you become slower and more sluggish. Your being just doesn't have the faculties for movement anymore. And I do not mean outer physical movement, I mean inner freedom of movement. Inner thoughts, being able to direct and shape thoughts as necessary. Feelings follows, and we utilize our will in all of this. We make ourselves transparent by actively cultivating and doing different practices to keep ourselves alive, but not only alive, it is also growing at the same time. It is, we don't survive, we live, we thrive, we are grateful for life. At least that is what the hierarchy is connecting to. They are also grateful for existence. They are grateful for us. For, well, I cannot imagine that they find teaching us boring. I would dare say that they enjoy it thoroughly, and especially when we do tend to, seek them out ourselves in freedom. For these beings, they do operate in the freedom. Yes, they might prompt us, and they might also adjust the outer physical reality so that things might change for us if we kind of refuse to listen to them. It depends. When you go inward and do truly listen to the inner wisdom of the higher worlds and yourself in relation to the world and to other people and to the social and to behavior and to moral tact, the more it is the interest for it, as I have mentioned. The word interest here is the perfect fit. You do feel it, right? I have an interest in development, in inner growth, in finding out what truly lies in this reality. And for us to do that, we need to grow new spiritual faculties and perceptual organs. And that happens through inner development. Of course, it is not easy, but it is enjoyable, as I said. It is a path worth taking, for it is not only for you, for me, it is for everyone. It truly is about bringing something that everyone can gain from and have a joy of, like emanating love and compassion and beauty and the hierarchy from within, superimposing it outwardly. So the more we develop our inner being, the more we are able to see what is outside in the physical, as not only the physical forces, but also the supersensible forces that is guiding all of this, the hierarchy behind all. So, well, I can dare say that this work, this development, once you have reached a certain stage, you cannot live without it. You will come to understand that. It is like you have been given truth, and if we just let this go, we would piss on that truth. This is the best way of saying it. It is kind of, you have been given a grace that it would be thoroughly insulting to the higher worlds if we denied it. For it has become so blatantly obvious to us that if we do give up, that feels like dying, kind of. That is why we always strive, struggle, making an effort, feeling what is necessary to feel to go through whatever is needed inwardly, so that we can clean and clear up in our own inner turmoil and chaos. For there is probably a lot of it down there. And the more you come to know yourself, reflecting on your past, reflecting on where you're going, who you are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what your values are, and your directional forces, so on and so forth. It is up to you what you do with all of this. As we say, Christ never forces us. He always wishes us to come to him in freedom and openness yourself. So, yeah, I think this was it for today. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, my God, ancient masters of all, ancestors from every incarnation, bless, protect, guide, and love you on your amazing, beautiful path. And may you be provided for with all that you need to survive, live, thrive, being creative and inspirational and healing to the world, so others can choose to be the same if they wish to. So, and of course, the last thing also, always remember that every single individual has a piece of, not only a piece, has the Christ impulse, the Christ principle within them. Being aware of it and always holding that as a conscious fact allows others to let the Christ speak through them, in a sense, even if they don't know it. So that is just a little fun experiment to explore with, allowing people to be the individual they are in the developmental stage they are, without being insulted or anything. Like, for it has nothing to do with us in the end, or it has everything to do with us per se as humanity, but as an individual it has very little to do with us. We support and pray that they are successful and, well, succeed in their benevolent endeavors. And yeah, it is to find the individual again. For we have become enormously individual, but we need to connect to the world. We cannot lose ourselves to alien concepts and abstractions, things that cannot be truly explained in reality, in a sense. It is the physical sciences is the direct entrance to the spiritual science. For we superimpose these, in a sense. So where we see only physical material science, well, we bring it alive, for that is what it is. It is utterly, immensely alive, and that is what I will leave you with today. You can think through the rest there. So, love you so much. Thank you. May you be successful in your benevolent endeavors. See you, dear sibling. Goodbye.